We need to first understand what Makkah was like back in the day. We need to understand what kind of society existed at that particular time and why was there a need for something new to come and rectify the existing system at that time. And obviously, when we look at the Sahabas, we need to understand from their perspective what kind of society were they actually living in. And once we sort of capture that essence and we sort of picture that environment in which they were, I think we will be able to better understand the decisions that they took, and the consequences that they faced, and the environment in which they had to deal with all the problems that came towards them. And one of the major things that we need to keep in mind is the fact that when Islam arrived in Mecca, it did not come into a primitive tribal village. It entered a society that was economical flourishing. It was advanced. It was commercially advanced. They had trade routes that were going down to Yemen, up to Syria, Damascus. They were very eloquent individuals. It was a society which was very advanced for its time. The Quraysh were a very proud people. Makkah was the center of trade. And if we read history and we go into history, we'll see the impact that Makkah actually had in Arabia at that moment in time. So it was not that it was a tribal and backward, not at all. It was a very eloquent society. And when we understand or when we read about it and we think about this, we need to keep in mind that we don't want to compare the advancements of today's time with what existed back then, but we need to appreciate what existed back then in their true sense. So whatever advancement was there in Arabia, they were at the top of their game at that moment in time. They were the center for Arabia at that moment in time. And obviously they were a very sort of sought out environment in which they were by the other Arabs and Bedouins that were around in that area.